guys. All right. We're going to be still talking about Tomorrow War because there's been some changes. It's a very interesting time. We didn't want to talk about this last time we put out a video because at the end of the day, to be honest, I didn't want to prejudge anything. Yeah. But as you see here, we have Rotten Tomatoes. Now, as you know, we all love critics, right? Critics are the bastion of honesty, and the critics, they're always right? It's not like they claim that Stargate was going to be a failure and then go on to be 16 years of success. But regardless, you know, they might get a couple of things wrong, maybe just a couple of things wrong then. But interesting enough, the critics have said that the Tomorrow War, the video that I've watched twice, mind you, I just finished watching it a second time for my flatmate, is terrible. It's 53% on the tomato meter. Oh, that sounds terrible. How are we ever going to survive? The critics are hating Tomorrow War. And the audience seems to be loving the Tomorrow War. Well, for the most part anyway. 82%. That's interesting. It's quite a difference there when it comes to the difference between what the critics think and what the actual people, the people that want to pay to see these sort of movies think, right? I wonder what's going on there. So it's got a rating of 5.7 out of 10. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Now let's see if we can go through and have a look at some of these reviews. Let's see what they say is the biggest problem with the Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War isn't a disaster, but it could have been a lot more. Okay. Here's another critic. Short-term characters manage to add dimension. Chris Pratt plays Chris Pratt, but we've gotten used to him not getting super angry about anything and killing things with accuracy. Big screen entertainment on the small screen. Expensive, effective, and unrememberable in its generic convention. Come for the big action sci-fi spectacle, but stay for Jon Sloan, Sam Richardson, and J.K. Simpsons. Now, I'm going to guess they're all minority. Let's just have a quick look here. So, we want to duplicate that 3 times. Who is... Oh, it's a female. Oh, it's a woman. She's Australian too. So we got 1 on the diversity checklist. What about Sam Richardson? Let me guess, he's probably black, right? Yep. Sam Richardson's he's black. Oof. Yeah, we got 2 on the diversity. What about the third day? J.K. Simpsons. I'm guessing that is probably black as well. Oh no, it's a white guy. Oh, they got a white guy in there. We got all the diversities. Admittedly, those characters were good, but then so was Chris Pratt, I thought. But regardless, millions had to die so one family could hug it out. Cool. 0 points for originality. The trappings aren't familiar, but the Tomorrow War is a fan popcorn movie thanks to a great special effects and likable lead and sharp pacing. So they gave it a solid tomato. The Tomorrow War is a movie that needs a surround sound, enormous screen expense, but its only value is in the spectacle. Original score was 2.5 out of 5. Yeah. So, you know, they're a little bit harsh. It's a little bit interesting, isn't it? That the critics just don't seem to like it. But we have 2,500 reviews, mind you, from fans or people that have seen the film. Very fulfilling screenplay, 5 out of 5. This category of alien dinosaur type of movie is one of the good ones to watch. Look, it's an action movie. I don't know what some critics were expecting. The cast did a great job, and it did a lot of fun for a few hours. Good job, everybody. Suck critics, professional these. Line story good, movie great. Maybe English not his first language. This movie is Independence Day of its time, plus the humour in it was perfect. There was a little bit of humour, but yeah. Film does not bring anything new, using relatively worn-out familiar of time travel with actions and non-human enemies, judgments, blah blah blah. But they still gave it a 3 out of 5, mind you, right? Solid, feel-good summer movie, not an instant classic or anything, but it's good entertainment movie. Not too many time travel plot holes either. I can think of a few, but still, 4.5 out of 5. Do not listen to the critics on this film. Listen to the audience. This movie was amazing, and the only reason it is doing bad is because people want to watch Pratt to fail. Watch this movie to see for yourself. It's a must watch. Now, I would disagree with the fact that the movie's doing bad. But anyway. I watched it 3 times in 24 hours, listened to it with surround sound, preferably AirPods Pro. Makes all the difference. 5 out of 5. While very far from perfect, with weak plot points and a spin on the time travel genre, the logic makes no sense, so it's different and entertaining. The filmmakers are up for many shortcomings with fun action, top-notch creature design, and stellar performances by Chris Pratt and Jovan Solovic, which I would agree with. 4.5 out of 5. So you can see there's a bit of a difference between the two here. The critics seem to hate something, and the audience seems to love it. I wonder why the critics don't seem to like this movie. Is it maybe because of all the things that we mentioned in the previous video, where we talk about how that this is a strong white male who is a good family father, who has good family ties, and is pretty much everything that the critics and the far left want to destroy. You know, he's patriotic, he serves his country, even though he does try to get out of it, but he serves his country. And to be honest, he's a good dad. He's a really good dad to his kid. It's everything that the critics hate. He is the average white male in the USA. He's not a racist. He's not a bigoted or anything like that. He's just a guy who is doing his job. He comes home to his wife and kids with his house, his white picket fence, so to speak, and just wants to live his life and protect these kids. Or kid. And at the end of the day, it seems to me that the critics don't seem to like that. Because it's funny, because the ones that they went through and highlighted, 2 out of 3 were minorities. Well, women and, black and stuff like that. And I'm surprised the female black soldier didn't actually get a mention, because she actually did a really good... Look, all of the cast did an amazing job on this. Right? All of them. I did not think there was one character that was flawed. The acting was perfect with the characters they had. I couldn't find anyone that I didn't like. And at the end of the day, it's a good movie. Is it going to be the next, Shawshank Redemption, or is it going to be the next V for Vendetta? No, probably not. Is it something I might watch once or twice a year when I want to watch an alien flick sci-fi about time travel? Definitely. I've watched it twice in 24 hours now. Yeah, it's a good movie. And I think the critics, the problem, the thing that the critics don't get here is at the end of the day is that they're showing how out of touch they are when it comes to people. These critics don't know anything. I was going to swear there, but I won't. Critics don't know anything. Stargate, the original show, the Stargate SG-1, was hated by the critics. But It went on for 16 years. It had 3 TV shows: Stargate, Atlantis, and Universe. There's rumors there's a 4th one coming along. The only reason, from what I've heard, that the Universe finished the way it did was because MGM was facing bankruptcy. So at the end of the day, look, Stargate SG-1 was the amazing show, right? But the critics hated it. I'm trying to find a review. It's funny how it's all been scrubbed off the internet. But the critics originally hated SG-1. You know, you look at like Captain Marvel. What's the... Yeah, Captain Marvel. Now, keep in mind, they've also gone through and scrubbed some of the reviews for Captain Marvel. So, yeah. Audience score, 45%. Critics, 79%. It's actually funny because it's actually very similar to The War of Tomorrow, but in reverse. You know, you got around 80%, 82%, 45%, 53%. So it's generally the same sort of gap, to be honest. But here, 537 reviews, 80%. Audiences, 100,000 ratings, 45%. But I could show you example after example after example. And critics don't know anything. They don't know what the average film person was. What's the Star Wars? The Last Jedi. Here, this will be an interesting one. Tomato meter from the critics, 90%. Audience, 42%. Magnificent, 54% from the critics, 70% from the audience. You know, like, yeah, critics are getting it wrong because they don't know what the average person wants, because they're so wrapped up in identity politics that they can't just go and watch a movie and enjoy it without thinking, but my diversity or me bellwether test or whatever it's called, that test that they do, like the Black Widow, the new movie coming out with Scarlett Johansson. They're claiming that the movie passes this certain test, this bellwether test, whatever it's called, where apparently it's something like, hang on, let me see if I can find it. Black Widow passes the... Here it is here. So it's the Bechdel test, also known as the Bechdel-Wills test, is a measure of the representation of women in fiction. As to whether a work either feature at least 2 women who talk to each other about something other than men. This is something they care about. This is what the critics care about, right? Is this. Whether 2 women can sit there and have a conversation about anything but a guy. So the measure of representation of women in fiction, where it asks whether a work features at least 2 women who talk to each other about something other than a man. The requirements that 2 women must be named is sometimes added. So according to the user edit database and the media industry press, about half of all films meet this criteria. But I don't think Tomorrow War passes this criteria. To be honest, I think 2 women sitting around talking about shoes or shopping or whatever it may be is probably the least of their worries when they're being overrun by aliens and there's only 500,000 people left in the world. Just a theory. They might care about something else than shoes or shopping or something like that. You know, I don't think there's a lot of there's no mention of rompy pompy going on. Although the female doctor is quite hot, this chick is quite hot. So at the end of the day, you know, hey, maybe, I don't know, she's the colonel though, so, you know. But at the end of the day, yeah, look, obviously, guys, don't take notice of critics. Don't listen to critics. They don't know stuff from stuff. And at the end of the day, if you want to know whether a movie is good or not, ask me. Or ask someone who watches movies. And not someone who gets paid to watch movies. Because I'll tell you now my honest opinion. This movie was good. Was it the best? No. Is it a popcorn flick? You can sit down and watch it with your flatmate? Yeah, did it tonight. Well, he was playing a computer game on the laptop, but still. While we were in the lounge room, I was watching it and he was playing on the computer. That's the movie. It's just that. It's just a movie you can go and watch. Where they sci-fi, time travel, you know, aliens, all that sort of stuff. And it's a good flick. Not the best, but it's a good flick. There are plot holes, sure. But it's a good movie. And like I say, critics don't seem to know stuff from stuff. Let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Have you seen The Tomorrow War? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What is your honest opinion of the movie? Let us know in your comment section below and we'll have a discussion about it. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. There will be another video coming up later today. Don't tell anyone. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to make 2 videos because I want to talk about this trans person in the bathroom. Interesting, isn't it? We'll talk about that soon. Apart from that, guys, have a great night, enjoy yourself, and we'll see you soon.